It's a couple days later, and I have some parts to fix the air leak in my 3D printer. Let me show them to you. Welcome to 3D Accuracy, where I'll talk about 3D printing, 3D product design, and 3D injection and die-cast mold design. This is the assembly that I took out of the 3D printer. This part here is leaking. It's no good. And I also noticed that the male quick release fitting is starting to show its age. It's got a little cruds on there, starting to corrode, that sort of thing. So I'll want to replace this part as well. But what I really don't like is this whole assembly. I mean, it's larger than it needs to be. It has more pieces in there than I think it needs to have. And because of the large size of these nuts, it makes it difficult to disconnect them from the machine and put them in the machine to get a wrench in there. There's not really enough room. In fact, it almost seemed like this part was kind of fit in there by hand. It wasn't that tight. I was easily able to remove that. So what I did is I went to the hardware store, I went to Ace Hardware, and they didn't have everything I needed, but they had this piece with this press fit coupling, right angle coupling here, so I can put the hose on this end with the barbed fittings, and then I got the other piece and the male quick release with the female end on this side. I got this over at Lowe's. So now I'm down to 3 pieces, excluding the washers, where here we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. This is going to be much less problematic in the future. Plus, I've got smaller diameter nuts. I can easily get wrenches in there and snug that up. And then I'll just put the hose on here and the female quick release from the air compressor on here and should have it. So that should be much easier, much easier. See how much shorter that is? Before the other one, this male quick release was actually sticking out of the back of the machine a little bit, which is not an optimum thing to have. You know, you always run the risk of bumping it against something. So this one now will be inside the back edge of the machine, the back surface of the machine. So much cleaner. So now what I'll do is I'll put these parts into the machine and then connect it all up. Turn on the air compressor, let it get a full charge air in it, and then I'll just let it sit for several hours. Have all the pieces in. You can see here how nice and compact that is now. Much nicer. And on the back side of the machine, you see the male quick release is now behind this outer surface. It's not sticking out. Before it was sticking out about this far, and that's not good. You know, you don't want to risk bumping that. Now it's recessed into the back of the machine, which is much better. Okay, so let's take this tubing here, and we have a clean end, so we're good. And let's see if we can push that on there. Get on there. Let's go. There we go. Nice and snug. Let me see if I can get it on there a little bit better. There we go. Okay, that has it. It's on there nice and snug now. All right, then we'll attach the female quick release to the male quick release. Get that on there. There we go. That's got it. You can see it from that side. Great. Okay. Now we'll turn on the air compressor. Give it a little time. Give it a little time to make some compressed air. And then once it's up to pressure, then we'll turn it off and let it sit for a few hours and see if that cured our leak problem. But that's so much nicer, so much cleaner, so much simpler. And if I have any other problems with it, again, it's much easier to work with. I had enough room to get the wrenches in there to snug it up nice. So much better arrangement like this. Simple is always better. We've made a little progress and discovered a new potential problem. Don't know for sure. Let me show you. I just turned on the air compressor to refill the tank, and it's up to 120 psi. This morning when I came out here, it was sitting at about 30 psi. So overnight, it lost 90 psi attached to the 3D printer. So it appears that replacing those parts in there fixed one problem, but there must be another leak in the system. Somewhere there's air still escaping the system. So overnight, losing 90 psi in 22 hours, that works out to be about 4 psi an hour it's losing. I don't know if this leak that's still there is enough to cause the machine to shut down when it's in use, like it did last time when I originally started the machine. So I don't know. I've got to do it's going to be a little trial and error trying to figure out how it's supposed to work and where the problems might be, and then fixing them. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you're ever in need of 3D product design, 3D injection mold design, 3D die-cast mold design, or 3D printed prototypes or production parts, please feel free to contact me. You can find contact information in the video description. I look forward to hearing from you and to being of service to you. Thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate it. See you on 3D Accuracy's next video.